So we just got back from the salvage yard here in Omaha. It's called A&R Salvage. They have tons and tons and tons of stuff. So they've got stuff like this. They've got doors, sinks, toilets, cabinets, just bits and pieces of just everything. It's a pretty cool place. We also got these little totes. We have about 5 of them, which will be great for seed starting when we do that this fall and winter, and then even into next spring. So they're a little bit wider, not quite as long, I don't think, as these trays, but they're deeper, so that might be cool. Those shelves that we picked up were actually, I think for all, let's see, we got 1, 2, I think we got 10 total with 3 different sizes. It was like 20 bucks. And then those totes ended up being another 10. So we spent 30 bucks and got all the stuff. So we'll be able to use that for trellising, probably some fencing if we need to. So the tall ones will obviously have going upright, and then these ones we'll be able to kind of put this way to have things grow up and over, so we can kind of save some space on the ground. So also real quick, one of our tomatoes in the black pots, these little black pots, really taking off. It's actually, I think since I checked it yesterday, or was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. It looks like it's almost doubled in size. So that one back there is actually doing pretty good. And then this one back here, still a little bit of a pipsqueak back here, but not bad. Marigold's doing really well. Our Miracle Grow tomato is still fairly small, but it otherwise looks healthy. And the Dr. Earth, it's a little bit bigger than the Miracle Grow one. Now that being said, I'm not 100% certain how big they both started off. So this one may have actually started off bigger in the first place. So can't really go by how big they are as to which one is working better than the other at this point. But that is where we are right now with our tomatoes. So, but yeah, so looking pretty good as far as growth for that. Our chives, chives are doing pretty well still. And then our dill is doing pretty good. And then we've got our others. Our basil down here still looks good. Ooh, we got a couple of sprouts, I think, growing. Yep, there's another one down there. There's one here, and this is our grand bell pepper. So that's really exciting to see. Didn't see that on Thursday. And then our Chinese giant peppers are doing really well still too. So those, I'm not really sure. They look like they're doing fine, but it's hard to really tell sometimes. So, but anyway, so that's just a quick update. We're going to, we were supposed to get our new shed sometime next week, but the order got canceled due to low stock. So we have to look elsewhere for a shed. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, we're hoping to get the shed at least by August if possible, or early August. We'll be able to reorganize some things, get our Rubbermaid cupboards in there, and then we'll obviously have these, which we might actually reformat the garden before summer is over. So we might get that done before fall or during fall. So I know Iain wants to plant some winter wheat, just to kind of, I think that's supposed to help with like your pH or something with the soil. I can't remember. We'll definitely do a video at that time. But we'll showcase the before and after of the garden and do video the whole process. But that is our haul for today. So again, these are just like the shelves you find in your closet. So it's got like the hanger rack down there, and then these little ones So anyway, that's our haul for today. Again, we just went to the salvage yard. Unfortunately, the salvage yard we went to here in Omaha is closing in October. So they're only open on Saturdays from 9 to 3. So we're kind of limited on when we can go. We're also limited on space as we only have our Jeep that we use, but we may be able to borrow my dad's truck at some point and use that to haul stuff back and forth if we need to. So anyway, again, check out your local salvage yards and antique shops and things like that. You can find a lot of cool stuff for fairly cheap. We had found some really good stuff. There's other stuff that we probably could have used, and we'll probably go back, let's be real. But we're going to need a bigger vehicle to get some of that stuff back. So anyway, that's it for today. We've got some other things planned for tomorrow, depending on the weather. It's pretty hot and gross here today, but we'll keep you guys updated on how everything goes. Doing a quick update in the garden. We got a couple of our pepper plants that are still doing really well, except for maybe that one. That one's kind of sad. But our tomatoes getting bigger. We have 1, 2, 3 that I can see on this plant, but we've got some blossoms coming, so those will likely yield some fruit. We were really worried that we had overwatered because the leaves were curling, but talking to our neighbor next door, he says that his does the same thing and does fine usually. So could just be that it was so hot, could be that we did overwater at one point. We had those giant like 3-foot weeds, so who knows. But I think, does this one have fruit on it?
Oops.
It's got blossoms for sure.
This one broke.
Oh, oops.
There's one right here.
There it is. I thought there was another one. So yeah, that one's got fruit coming in. So we've got some tomatoes coming up, which is good. Onions are still doing awesome. Our 2 little yellows are hanging in there, and then our reds still doing really good. So I guess we can actually pick those onions now, but they're supposed to be those like really, really, really big red onions. So we might just let them continue to grow this year. Our beans, we got quite a few more blossoms on here, starting to intertwine around our fence. This one's doing good, and that one. The 3 other corns that we replanted are coming up really nice. And then our other stalks still growing tall. So what was it your dad said, that we have to wait for them to tassel?
Yeah, I think when it starts tasseling, that's when it's going to start producing.
Okay, so when the stalks start producing tassels, which is those little like fuzzy things at the top, then apparently we're supposed to get corn growing, but we'll see. Time will tell. We're not farmers or really gardeners for that matter. So our bean plant is really taking off. Quite a few little blossoms on there. I'm bummed only one came up, but this one's doing really well. So we got a weed down here. Ian's just doing some pruning over there on the tomato plant. There's another little bean down there. This is our corn forest, I guess. We got our, like 3 or 4 stalks all in a bunch here. So it's still growing tall, but we're not sure if and when it will even tassel or produce corn at all, because the other stalks may be taking nutrients from the main big one. But I wanted to see how things went, so we left it because I was just curious if it would even make a difference. So that's why we've left it. Whereas the other 4 not including those little ones that we have. The other 4 big ones are all by themselves, so not really sure if we accidentally put more seeds into that one by mistake, or if some of the seeds that we had planted around it in their own little area got washed into the same spot because of heavy rain. So, but other than that, our one marigold down here,
sad pepper,
doesn't really seem to be doing much, but the other one,
at least it's still green.
Yeah, it's still green, so that's something. But the other one still has its yellow blossoms, so pretty happy with that. We'll keep watching our peppers, see what happens. I don't have much hope for that one, or even that one too. But the others seem to be doing okay, so. But pretty excited that we've got some tomatoes coming up. Our hope next year, when we are hopefully able to grow more, so we have a little bit better idea as to what we're doing, we'll be able to make enough for like salsas, tomato sauce, chili in the winter, which would be good. Those onions will be good in chili this fall and winter. Some of our plants on the outside are doing okay. That one's really taken off. I don't remember what it is, but
I don't know if you're supposed to.
I don't know. I'm not sure if you're supposed to prune peas or beans. Tomatoes I've heard of pruning, but I don't know about anything else. So we'll check our compost. Iain mowed today, so we added a little extra grass to that compost. If I can get it open. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. Added some grass to that. There's some cardboard in there. How often do we turn it? Is it like a daily thing, or?
Whenever I come out here and turn it.
Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to be daily, but just something to give it a good spin. Pretty easy to do. Give your kids something to do if they're old enough and big enough. They're bothering you, just have them go spin the compost. So we got our mound over here where the corkscrew willow is. It's still doing pretty darn good. At some point we may have to add extra support beams and or posts and stuff, because we can get some pretty strong winds in the Midwest, so we might have to support it a little bit better this fall and winter. But for now it's doing pretty good. We added a little bit more grass to the mound, helps keep that moisture in. Some of our late plants that we planted later this season, not doing the greatest, but who knows. I think that's a tall sunflower over there. I think that's a tall sunflower. We have some short sunflowers planted over here. You kind of see one little bloom there. The rest of our plants, we got a couple coming up, or at least hanging in there. And then our decorative grasses are doing really well. So again, these are the, they're supposed to be like a reddish color, these two. And then these are more, they're kind of like a blue-green right now, which is really pretty. But I think they're supposed to be more of like a brown-green when they're like done growing. I'm not 100% sure though. So depending on how tall these get or what happens this year and next year, we may plant a couple more around this area. And then we're looking into getting some simple white lattice to replace our like pallets and stuff. Just something easy that can be removed if the people have to work on the boxes, but we'll also keep Ned away from this corner and all the mulberries. He's actually doing okay. He's eaten a lot and he hasn't thrown up since the first time, so that's always a positive. His stomach's probably getting used to him now, but So just another quick overview of everything. This morning, if you remember, we went to salvage yard. I'll probably just splice these two videos together. My parents got back from our family barn. I think they got back today, and so they'll bring us tomato cages. They got a big roll of like wire mesh. It's a concrete mesh. Is that what it was?
No, it's more like a
screen mesh. So like a big roll of screen mesh.
I mean, screen metal mesh.
Yeah, it's metal. So, and then just whatever else they could find for us. So the family land is in the process of being sold. So we're just taking stuff that we need as, you know, part of the family, and getting the rest down to my grandma. So that's kind of where we're getting some of that stuff from. But our other fences that we haven't used yet, we still have a roll of that stuff. And then our trellises that we found downtown the other day. So probably gonna go take a quick look at the marigolds. Ian noticed, I think, was it today or yesterday you noticed that the purple was going away?
I think it was
Yesterday? So yeah, he noticed yesterday. So, and I would concur that some of the purple is going away. Not on all of them. Some of them still have a bit of purple left, but they seem to be otherwise doing well. This one and this one are way less purple. That is a red pot, and this is a red pot. So these, actually, come to think of it, the two red pots, which was the potting soil mix that we used, are less purple. And then the one marigold we still have in the garage was also a red potting mix, whereas the yellow was that more like, I can't remember, it had like some of the mulch stuff in it. So that's kind of interesting. I just now realized that. So something to keep in mind, I guess, in the future for when we plant our marigolds again. If we start them in pots first, the bag of red stuff that we use, which was that straight up potting mix, that real fluffy stuff, significantly less purple than the yellow bag, which was like the vegetable garden mix or something like that. I can't remember. I have to go back and look in the garage, but I can post in the description what was what for you guys, so just so that you guys know. But yeah, I just noticed that, so that's kind of interesting. We've had a couple of heavy rains. What? So the marigolds with more purple were planted with the yellow bag, and the two others, and plus the one in the garage, were from the red, like that fluffy potting mix stuff. Yeah. And they have less purple on the leaves. So yeah, Iain was just asking my what I've discovered. So, but yeah, so we'll post which bag was which in the description box, just so that you guys know. But that's an interesting observation for sure. Not that the yellow bag stuff is like bad, it just may not be good for those particular plants. So, but yeah, so just another quick update from Saturday. It is Saturday the 9th. And again, we went to, I'm gonna get sprayed by the sprinkler. We went to the salvage yard this morning. Well, I guess this afternoon after I got off work. And then it was real hot and muggy today. So we elected to stay inside for a bit. Now that it's cooled down pretty significantly, Iain had to spray for some stuff. We had to take care of our tree out front, and then we wanted to give another update out here. So, but yeah, so that's all we've got for today.